Hey, good afternoon from Ketchn'z Corner. Today what I want to go over real quickly is this little loop knot. A lot of people still ask about it. First video I ever did for YouTube was about a loop knot. So here's a little gold plated jig. And here's some Mr. Crappie high vis. Put it through the eyelet just like that. Give yourself plenty of line off the end there. Make your loop real big. See, the loop is real big. Make you a circle like this right here and hold that jig head by the eyelet just like that. And take that loop that you just made and go around it about 2 or 3 times. I like 3. Form your knot a little bit, kind of like this right here. Do that. Put a little lube on it. Hold it down real close to the jig. Pull that knot down fairly tight, just about like that. Down right by the jig, about like that distance right there is good. Trim a tag end off a little bit, give it a few of those, make sure it's really good. And there you have a loop knot, just like that, guys. Next thing we're going to go over is this here little cigar float, okay? Buy them at Walmart for, 3 for $1.20 or something. They're cheap, and they're extremely effective, far more effective than any slip float will ever be, no matter who tells you otherwise, okay? Trust me on that much, guys. Way easier to rig. You got a little notch in them right there. You want to take your line, put it in that notch, and bring it around, put it through there twice. Okay? The reason you want to put it through there twice when you let that spring down is because it won't slip. It'll slip if you just do it once, and it'll still be fully adjustable. Okay? Now, 2 or 3 things you need to remember. These things are real hard on mono. Okay? The right here at the pinch point, it'll definitely break off after a lot of hook sets. And especially if you're landing fish of any size, much over a pound, they put a lot of stress on that little pinch point right there. If the fish are going to be really aggressive and large, I usually upsize the float and the jig. I typically run the smallest float and jig I can. I'd like to be pretty lightweight on it, but if you think you're going to be encountering fish that exceed maybe 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, you might want to step up. For sure on your line weight, that's only 6 pounds. That's what I like to use. Casts well, performs pretty well, but you'll want to step up your jig size and your float size, maybe double the size of this float, same style, and maybe twice the size on the jig as well. And that being said, you can also use these balsa versions, but they're really expensive, man. They're over $1 a piece. Depends on where you buy them. I think this is a Bass Pro one here. It's a really nice float. They perform really well. I love them, but they're expensive. And when you're casting around all kinds of stuff close to the bank, sooner or later you're going to hang up on a rock or some brush or something, and you're going to lose your rig. So I try to keep it as simple and cheap as possible. And I like to be pretty fast. Like I said, you can tie these things together real quickly and be back at a fish in a heartbeat versus a slip knot setup. And again, it's a very effective setup. Kaboom is the word from Ketchn'z Corner. The spawn is near, gentlemen, ladies, and everybody in between. Get ready to get you some. Catching out. Kaboom is the word.